No Man's Sky's Breach Expedition is great, but has a few things that may trip you up while completing. So I've put together 12 tips that cover more than 12 milestones to ensure there's an answer to any troubles you may face. Abandoned space stations always have a little treasure tucked away, and you should absolutely utilise them during this expedition. When arriving in an abandoned space station, the first thing you should do is head up to the left side. Up here you'll find the teleporter and multi-tool upgrade terminal, one for exosuits as well, but most importantly, 3 yellow containers on the floor. Always loot these. Across the expedition you'll get some warp hypercores, enabling you to have to not craft warp cells, some contraband and trade goods you can sell to buy microprocessors and more, saving you from farming units and resources, and even lots of C-class technology which you can install and dismantle later on to get wiring looms without messing around. In order to get where you need to go, the first thing to focus on in an expedition is obtaining suitable hyperdrive technology. There is a single milestone that offers an S-class hyperdrive upgrade, and as it's abandoned mode, getting one from the environment is going to be unlikely. To get this upgrade as soon as possible, we first must do our first warp to get the pre-packaged Atlantic drive, install it and focus the Friends in Odd Places milestone. This will point you to a nearby purple system that has a floating anomalous fauna in it. Most likely, if you did this from the second system you warp to, it will point you toward Zugawar Mir, a purple Gex system with 3 planets. The floating fauna you seek is on the first planet in the system, Gusuk 79Z9, a frozen planet. The fauna itself is a blue pyramid creature with orange bubbles inside it. With Friends in Odd Places complete, you can claim the rewards to get the emergency signal scanner. Dereliction requires us to fully explore a derelict freighter. You may think this is silly to do immediately, but it will get us that S-class hyperdrive and save us a whole lot of time. Friends in Odd Places not only gave us the emergency signal scanner to find the derelict, but also an exosuit shield upgrade and a scatter blaster and shell greaser pre-packaged. It's up to you whether you install them. You don't need to and can just sprint through the derelict, ignoring the grubs like you are seeing on screen now. Remember that attacks cannot hurt you when you are in a dialogue screen, so grubs shooting at you while you read the 3 terminals in the derelict is not a problem. Also, to complete Dereliction, by fully explore, it means completing all 3 of those terminals, not explore every last nook and cranny of the freighter. If it completes, it'll complete after obtaining the reward from the 3rd and final terminal. Lastly, I would recommend teleporting back to the starting system or your second system to do the derelict, as Zugawar Mir's derelict is an extreme cold one that will sap your hazard protection in seconds, the other 2 are not. With that complete, install your S-Class hyperdrive upgrade to enable you to warp to every expedition location in a single jump. You'll need to craft a bunch of debris rangefinders throughout the expedition to find space wrecks and mine them for logs. Well, it's not always super obvious what fully harvesting one entails. Each wreck will have 2 mineable reactor units. These will drop a Corvette part or 2 when mined. The extra thing these will have is a log. The log is not always easy to see and will generally be floating around the wreck. To find the log and of course highlight the mineable reactors, just press the scan button and look around. If you don't see the buried technology icon right away, then move to the other side of the wreck, scan again and look all around you. Once found, just interact to grab the log. The log is the only thing the milestone cares about for completion. You are going to need quite a bit of chromatic metal, but mining this can be a bit annoying, but there's a very easy solution to this. Once you have made your Corvette, it will come with an Atlantic drive pre-installed. This is likely to prevent those who swap their old ship for it from getting stuck. But this presents an opportunity, as we can switch back to our original ship in the station and dismantle the Atlantic drive on that for the indium it will provide. You can then switch back to your Corvette and claim the rewards from Doors to the Stars, which provides a pre-built refining unit. Build this inside your Corvette and use a refining recipe of indium, silver and gold to make all the chromatic metal you need. If you are going to run out of the indium, just refine indium and chromatic metal to double your indium and keep up the recipe. Alternatively, you can do this with cadmium by installing and dismantling a C-class pulse engine you may have picked up in the station's containers, giving you a less efficient version, as well as 1 or 2 wiring looms you'll need for later. Rendezvous 2, or Timestamp 2 in the Breach Expedition, is a water world, and it's the only water world along the defined path, so make sure you complete everything that needs it while there. Primarily before handling this, you'll want to have completed Star Spawn, requiring you to destroy some asteroids, so you can get the Nautilum platform. While jumping in the water will trigger Timestamp 2, you'll also want to collect 5 sea glass for Temptation. These can be found very easily by looking out for the pink light beams shooting up from the sea floor. These note a sea glass. Just drive up to it in your Nautilon, get out and quickly grab, then jump back in. You want to be careful about the high pressure in the ocean depths. While down there, be sure to scan the huge sea creatures swimming around for gentle giants. One milestone a lot of people are having trouble with is descent. This requires you to get to a depth of 1001 U. The Rendezvous 2 water world isn't so deep all over, so finding this can be troublesome. There are two ways to work out if you are above the required depth. First is to jump in the water and float on the surface. In the bottom left text it will show you the seafloor depth below you. Second is to equip a fishing rod and fish. Fishing will also show you the depth under the bobber, and can be done from on top of your ship, or at the landing bay of your corvette. The fishing rig is rewarded from Grave Robber, which can be completed early in either the starting system or the Rendezvous 2 system, though after all that it would be easiest if you just went to these coordinates on the water world in the first place, which are ironically pretty much bang on the Rendezvous 2 marker. The seafloor is deep enough here. Rendezvous 1, 3, 4 and 5 are abandoned buildings, which give us an easy way to get our 16 biological horror kills for completing They Feed. However, I would suggest waiting until Rendezvous 3 if you didn't install the Scatter Blaster for the Derelict. That is because Rendezvous 3 rewards an S-Class Boltcaster upgrade and you'll want to install this for another milestone anyway. Now with your weapon ready and loaded, shoot a Whispering Egg around the abandoned building and start mowing down the biological horrors. The easiest and most basic tactic is to constantly strafe sideways if you take them down. This will render their attacks harmless, as they will pull back before they lunge toward you, and strafing sideways at walking speed is enough to dodge it. Avoidance is the key to victory here, as they hit very hard, but if you never get hit, you're basically invincible and can take your time getting them in the ground. Alternatively, you can cheese it. To cheese this, just trigger a swarm and shoot them with your ship's weapons. One thing to note here is that if you are flying your ship, the biological horrors will not trigger, so you should shoot at the egg patch in your ship, then leave the pilot's seat. This will allow them to spawn, then re-enter the seat and mow them down and repeat till done. While at Rendezvous 3 you should also complete Tendrils. This milestone requires you to destroy 5 hungering Tendrils, though it doesn't do a great job of guiding you. Rendezvous 3 is a nest world. It doesn't say this in its biome name, it says it's a boiling doom called Guiumph 7. But when you get there you'll see all the living ship egg-type flora, which notes a nest world. Nest worlds have Titan worm burrows on them. You can find those with your analysis visor. When approaching a Titan worm burrow, hungering Tendrils will emerge around it. Their name screams tentacles, but they are actually giant juicy grubs that spit acid at you. Don't get too close and keep moving around to avoid the spit while you shoot them. Also, shooting them will cause biological horrors to spawn. You could fight these to get the 16 kills, but honestly, I find it easier to ignore them while also fighting the Tendrils. When you destroy a Tendril, you will get fleshy ropes, but the Tendril also drops a Valspawn egg. Be sure to grab it, sometimes 2 drop. Those eggs and the fleshy ropes refine to 50 nanites each, so it's a nice chunk from the 5 kills. Crushing a Val grub is a nice easy task, though unless you keep an eye out, you'll end up having to go out of your way at the end to finish it off. First of all, you can't just destroy one on the ground. You must pick it up, then crush it in your inventory. To pick it up, you must install Hazmat Gauntlets. Hazmat Gauntlets are rewarded from Dereliction, but it's only the plan, so you'll need the extra chromatic metal and sodium nitrate. When in the Rendezvous 4 system, circling the moons for Under Cluster, you'll have to pop to the cloudy moon Envy, which has Vile Brood on it. If not in range when you get to the planet, be sure to focus the Metamorphosis milestone so it'll target sweep you to one. Note you may have to step foot on the actual ground itself for this to work. Lastly, note that crushing the bug will summon a boss creature. This can easily kill you if you just stand still, so to defeat it, just keep moving and focus fire on one spot to get past its armour and take it down. Alternatively, you can just run away and beam back up to your ship, as you don't need to kill it for the milestone. You'll fly near a few extreme weather planets on your expedition route, but for the storm crystals it is by far the easiest to complete at the Rendezvous 4 site. It is an abandoned building on the gas giant, and you'll find the required storm crystals all within range of your analysis visor from the building, so just run out and grab them, avoiding tornadoes and jobs are good. This may seem obvious to many, but I could see locating the black hole being a problem for some. The Rendezvous 4 system has a black hole, and you'll spawn in right next to it when you warp there. The issue is you probably want to do stuff in the system before moving on, and finding the black hole later may prove a touch annoying. First of all, the black hole will be on your radar in the form of a purple blob. The black hole will also be very slightly visible from anywhere in the system, though it'll be crazy small and annoying to see. To help here, you should know that black holes, like Atlas stations, are always located behind the space station. Space stations roughly face the first planet in the system, though it's actually slightly off in this particular case, but in general the space station is between the black hole and the gas giant. So if you get to the station, you'll be able to more easily locate it by looking behind it. Alternatively, you could just warp out and then back into the system. You should have the fuel leeway, and it would be quite quick. Jellyfish requires you to fish up a special jellyfish, then set it free in water to summon a jellyfish boss, then defeat it. For this to get the summoning item, focus the milestone while fishing. With it, get to the coast so you can fight it on land for far better movement. Even the basic boltcaster will get the job done. You mainly need to focus on survival. The jellyfish boss will summon interdimensional Lovecraftian horror jellyfish to try and take you down along with its own attacks. These jellyfish will shoot a ranged attack, but their primary damage is done by a dive attack. They attempt to fly right into you. So as with the biological horrors, the strategy here is to keep moving, and strafe in relation to the extra mobs the boss summons. Also, maybe have your corvette floating nearby for you to beam up when you need to and take a quick breather. If you are having any issues related to gravity in space, such as being shot out of your ship to elsewhere, or having your ship and view be leaning to the side, turn off multiplayer. This is likely a multiplayer related issue. If you are having trouble with anything not covered in this guide, or think you have a better solution to any of the issues, please say them below. Many read the comments and may have a better time due to your consideration. Thanks all. Peace.